if I hadn't seen the community link worker, I don't actually know if I'd still be here, to be honest, because the self-harming was at a all-time low. I was doing it quite regular, which my self-harming is taking extra pills, not to end my life, but instead of cutting myself, I take pills. And not having the support before, all I had was the crisis team, and I just felt like dumped by the system, that I wasn't bad enough.
What?
Because the rest of the system, it's taken me this time a year to be referred to a psychotherapist. I was meant to be seeing a CPN. CPN decided that I should see talking therapies. Talking therapies decided I was too bad for them, like too severe or too many problems. I don't know what the exact terminology. So they then refer me to the psychotherapist, and then it's a year's wait at least to see a psychotherapist, and then you can only see them for 6 weeks, and then you've got to go back in the system of waiting for them to decide what you get referred to. And it doesn't look like any of them will refer for a full-time DBT, which is what I want and what I think will help.
Feel when you were referred?
I was apprehensive to start with, because when they referred me to the link worker, I didn't actually know what a link worker was or what it involved. If there was a time span, you could only see them for so long. So I was apprehensive in that side, but once I'd made the initial introduction, then I found that I clicked with the person, so it's made the transition a lot easier.
What's the community link worker done for you?
The community link workers made it able for me to access things in my local community, helped me find the recovery college, which I'd never heard of, and by going to the recovery college with me, enabled me to access DBT, dialectical behaviour therapy, which I did a 12-week course on, and I found it really helpful. I do actually use some of the tools, but now want to look into a full-time course in that. And if I hadn't had the community link worker, I probably wouldn't have realised that therapy was out there and was appropriate for my needs with borderline personality disorder.
For you?
Community link worker made it accessible for me to choose a location that was appropriate to myself, which sometimes it'd be the GP surgery if we needed to be there for some reason, but most of the time I was able to go to a local cafe that I felt comfortable with and pick the seating and everything else. So that was nice, the fact that you're not having to go somewhere, because it wasn't such a panic. It was somewhere I wanted to go and that I was familiar with.
Okay.
I think the fact that the community link worker, you're able to text them, I think that is probably the best thing about it. Not having to phone if you're stressed. Having that person that will actually text you back, doesn't ring you straight away. It's a case of text support if that's what you want, phone support if that's what you want, face-to-face if that's what you want. I think it's nice to have the option. You're not forced to do anything. It's what you're comfortable with.
Great.
Okay, very good.
Wow.
My link worker also felt it might be beneficial for me to meet another client with similar issues to me, similar past to me, borderline personality, going through pregnancy issues, which it was nice to actually sit and talk to someone who totally understood where I was coming from and answered questions quite honestly. And I actually felt more reassured about a lot of stuff that I've panicked about for a lot of years. And this person also recommended other treatments and sessions that she thinks would be appropriate for me at some point, which I can now access via my link worker, but also obviously via the client as well. I think that was actually one of the best things.
Yeah, great.
I think if I didn't have the community link worker, I definitely wouldn't have done the recovery college, because in all the time I've had mental health, no one has ever told me about the recovery college. And I've been under Dryden Clinic for a few years, and I didn't know there was anything out there. I probably wouldn't have attended some other sessions like walking groups and stuff just that's been recommended if I didn't have a link worker. And just generally I found that since having a link worker I haven't contacted the crisis team as much, and touch wood, I haven't had as many self-harming episodes since having a link worker, which I think is more peace of mind knowing that there's someone there, because unfortunately psychotherapists are only there to do the one thing, whereas a link worker's there more for whole support.
Great, thank you.